Today we have an amazing and inspiring Nigerian who came to the UK with nothing. He has been able to build a life that we can all learn from this man's story. Please kindly introduce yourself, sir.
Thank you, Francis, for inviting me to your program again. And viewers, thank you at home. My name is Kayode Akinropo, and I'm in Nigeria, so I've been told, born and bred, and I live in Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of the UK. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kayode. So, Kayode, let us start the story for the audience to understand your journey. When did you come to the UK and how did you decide to come to the UK?
Yes, I came to the UK with my family. That was in 2006. And I decided to come to the UK because a friend of mine told me then that UK government was looking for teachers all over the world. And because he knew me well as a lecturer, he said, "Oh, Kade, you are qualified. Put in your application. It's on point-based system. If you score 80 points, you'll be granted." And that's how we put in our application. We got a lawyer in London then who helped us put in the application. And everything just went well. Within 6 months, we were in the UK.
What year did you come to the UK? And what were you doing in Nigeria before you came to the UK?
Yes, I came to the UK, as I've said, 2006, and I was a lecturer in Nigeria, where I was lecturing at the College of Journalism, very popular college in Nigeria. That's for 9 years. And at the same time, as I was lecturing as a lecturer at that College of Journalism, I was also a lecturer at an ICANN Institute. ICANN stands for Institute of Chartered Accountant Nigeria. So, where I was lecturing business communication skills for good 9 years too.
Okay, so which year did you arrive in the UK?
2006, December.
What before you came to the UK, like most immigrants, I'm sure you had expectations and dream. And when you first arrived in the UK, were your expectations met?
Not really. I had so many expectations. But when I came to the UK with my wife and my two children, the expectations were not initially met. Things were rough. We were told we became teachers, but unfortunately it didn't go well like that. So getting teaching job in the UK then was very difficult for us. Putting so many applications for teaching, or your color and your accent, I mean, there were barriers, especially in the northeast of England. I mean, Newcastle upon Tyne. It was difficult.
And what were you doing then,
Yes,
job wise?
any menial jobs. So, cleaning job, kitchen pottery job, and the industrial job, and the security job. Then later, I got supply teaching job.
So how did you feel knowing full well that in Nigeria you were a university lecturer, you came to the UK and you found yourself working as a kitchen porter, doing a cleaning job? How did you take that?
I felt bad because I'm an experienced lecturer at the College of Journalism for 9 years. I'd expected things would work out fine immediately I got to the UK. But unfortunately, it didn't work like that. But that made me to be down emotionally. But despite that, I just believe, well, this is a land of opportunity. Let's see how we go on and how things will work out for us.
So did you ever had the thought of returning back to Nigeria when you were working as a kitchen porter, given that you were a university lecturer back home in Nigeria?
That didn't come to my mind then. So, for point of correction, I was not lecturing at the university. It was a college of journalism, college of
Okay.
journalism for 9 years. Yeah, but despite all the problem we faced, we didn't. I mean, my wife and myself, we didn't just think of maybe we are going back to Nigeria. We just decided, oh, we have left our Egypt, then this is our promised land. We want to put in everything we have to make sure things get better for us.
So, did you had friends or family members that were telling you to return back to Nigeria?
Yes, especially in the UK, yeah. Some people were thinking if you were a lecturer in Nigeria and could not even get teaching job here in the UK, and you are doing all these menial jobs, why can't you return to Nigeria and get on with your life? And like, no, I wouldn't do that. And there was a story that a friend told me later when things have got better for us, that there was a time four of them were in a shop. They saw me passing and they were just talking. One of them said, oh, look at that man. He was a lecturer in Nigeria. I knew him very well. But look at what's undergoing in the UK now. Why can't he go back to Nigeria? That, I mean, three of them agreed that, oh, if they were in my shoe, they would have gone back to Nigeria. It was later when things, I mean, have changed for better that guy now told me, oh, I thank God on your behalf that you didn't go back. All of us now, we are envy, we jealous you for what you have made of your life.
Did you had friends that came on the same highly skilled visa or similar visa that returned back to Nigeria?
Yes, I have two friends. In fact, one of them, we accommodated in our house just to make sure he got on grant, but unfortunately, he got a care job and he didn't just like it because he was working at Obafemi University in Ile-Ife back then as a librarian. So he said, well, I'm on a sabbatical. I can't continue, I mean, doing all this kind of job. I'm going back to Ife. My work is waiting for me. And one day, just tell us, next week, I'm going back. We told him, we tried to tell him, oh, look, this life, give it some time, a year, 2 years. And he said, no, I cannot resign. I'm going back. And he just went back.
Okay. So, why did you decide to stay despite the fact that someone you knew went back?
And that's a very good question. Thank you. Uh, I do tell people as a Christian, I've read a lot of stories in the Bible, and especially I love the story of when God told the Israelites, Exodus, leave Egypt. You are going to the Canaan land. And the journey that should have taken them 40 days took them 40 years. It wasn't easy. That was a bad story. But despite that, God continued to tell them, don't look back. You have left your Egypt. Face where you are going. You are going to the Canaan land. And eventually they got there. And that story has taught me a lot up to today that no matter the storm, no matter the difficulties, no matter the walls of Jericho in my life, if I'm determined, I will get to where I'm going.
So, for before we talk about how you were able to get your breakthrough and turn your life around, which a lot of people would like to hear, for anyone who is going through what you were going through at that time, where I'm sure there are people that were laughing at you, say, ah, look at this man. He was a lecturer back in Nigeria. He's now washing dishes in England. Anyone going through similar situation, what is your advice for them?
My advice for such a person or such people is that they do not worry. If you are hardworking, if you know what you are doing, if you are not into hanky-panky things, you are true with yourself and what you are doing, You will get to your Canaan land. You will get to where you are going. And you even surprise yourself that, oh, this is what I can achieve. You will get it. My advice is just, if you know, if you truly believe that, okay, you can do it, give it all you have, and you get there.
So today you are if you're an author with books that it has good review. People around the world now know you and buying your books. Let us talk about how how your life changed from you working as a kitchen porter to you becoming who you are today.
Thank you. Yes, from working as a kitchen porter and some other menial jobs, I became a supply teacher. I did that one for 4 years, but because of problems that the UK schools have, teaching in Nigeria is different from teaching in the UK. Behavior problem, especially in the UK, drove me out of the class.
Hello.
Hello,
What was
hear
that
me?
noise? Is that your phone ringing?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay. Okay, I can hear you now. So you said because of
yes,
behavior problem, what
yeah,
happened?
yeah. In the UK schools, I left classroom. Then I became an interpreter, stroke translator. I'm doing interpreting job, translating job. I travel all over the UK in courts. Or I work with the Home Office. I work with the police. I work with NHS. I work with tribunals. So I was doing that one. So along the line, I've been writing my manuscript back home in Nigeria when I was in college. That's some 40 years ago. I brought it along with me that one day, probably this book will be published. And that's what happened in 2001 when 2021, sorry, 2021, when somebody just asked me, Kade, have you ever written a story of have you published a story, a book? I said no, but I have a manuscript. And the respected lady said, send your manuscript to me, let me read. She read it. To cut the long story short, she said, oh, this is publishable. I will make sure the world read this story because the world will learn a lot from this story. And that book or is entitled Scars Do Heal, a young child battle for survivor. So with that, I mean, like joke, the book was published. We promoted it, and people that read it gave good review on Amazon. Wherever we travel to, we took copies along. When people ask me, who are you? And I told them I'm an author. An author? What book have you published? I bring the book out. They are always surprised. They immediately go to Amazon, check the review, and they will buy the book. And that's why it has got good review all over the world now. Schedule in a young child battle for survivor. That was how the first book was published some 5 years ago.
And the second, you have another book out now.
Yes, this one is entitled Wilderness of Chaos. It was published February this year. So after the first book has got good review, people, people who love reading, they ask me, almost all of them, Kade, when's your next novel coming out? We want to read more from you. You are just a good storyteller. Will it be a sequence, even without telling them I want to write? Are we expecting a sequence of the first book, or are you writing a different story entirely? I say, well, I see what will happen. And in 2002, I started writing Oh, Wilderness of Chaos, which is bold satirical thriller, which is about the current bad situation in Nigeria. A satire is a work of art that ridicules in order to correct. And immediately, this one came out February this year. People were so happy. They were so supportive. And I want to tell you, many, if not almost all the people that bought these ones that I knew, they have bought the new ones. It's like, oh, another one has come out. Yes, we have had cases where people have bought 6 copies for themselves, for their friends, for their families, for their church members, for their work colleagues. And that's very, very interesting. So it helps people who write an author to be happy and to do more.
You said you came with your 2 children in the UK. How are they now and where are they?
Well, thank God for that. They are both doing well. They are in London now, which means we have empty nest in our house now. Just myself and my wife for some years now. They are independent and they are doing well.
If you look back if you can take back the hands of the time, would you have made the same decision you made to leave Nigeria many years ago?
Yes, I will have done the same thing because when you have friends that love you, when they advise you, listen to their advice. Your that friend is now there, may his soul rest in peace. He called me. I never knew about HSMP. He explained to me what it was all about. He was a lawyer. He was a lawyer in the UK then. I told me, Kayode, please give this a try. He explained everything to me that when you come to the UK, it's not that probably he said Dorado from the word go. But at time I know you, as time goes on, I mean, you will survive. I will time me for it. And that's what happened. So it depends on the type of friends you have, what information you get from them, what support you, genuine, no lying, everything open. You consider the pros and cons, then if they tell you they have been there, then the next thing is for you to go. And that's what we did. If I have the same chance, I would have done the same thing.
The friends that you knew who came to the UK but they couldn't stand the heat and moved back, do they have any regret for the decision?
Yes, unfortunately, I've caught up with them now, not in contact again. But some people that know them, or some people that knew, oh, they came, they stayed with us. They were the one telling me that, oh, Kade, look, things are not all that right for them. Not that probably they are happy about their situation, but it's like, oh, probably if they are stayed like you stay with your wife and your children, maybe things might have not worked out the way it's working for them now. Or they will tell me they are really, really struggling. They are not contacting me again, probably because, oh, they feel, what should we be telling Kade? Himself and his wife, they advised us. We didn't listen to, we left, but here we are now. So maybe that's why, in the first instance, they cut off with me, but I still hear about them from some other friends.
Would you have stayed if you did not have children? Because
Yes,
I ask you this question, a lot of immigrants say, I am going through everything because of my children. Would you have stayed if you didn't have children?
I will have stayed. I wouldn't say probably what they said is a lie because you want to consider your children too. What you have, I mean, suffered in life. I came from a very poor background, very, very poor background. I suffered a lot from primary school, secondary school to university. You know, I wouldn't have loved my children to undergo the same thing. But let's say I not have children, I would have, taking the same step.
Okay. Now I know you very well. Your children, they have gone to university. They're doing very, very well for themselves, and
Thank you.
they will be very, very proud of you because you and I first met when you were working in EE back in the days, and
Yes.
I was a bit shocked when Sam told me that you were a lecturer in Nigeria, and I saw you were doing a job that doesn't uh, match your qualification then. But your dignity, your humility, and the fact that even while you were doing that job, you embraced that job like this is I'm very happy doing the job. So
Thank
that is
you.
something that I learned from you, and that is why I've kept in touch with you more than 20 years ago. So for people that want to get your book now, and I know you've received a lot of support from the community in Newcastle. People are buying your book from all over the world. I am going to leave the link to Kayode's book, Scardo Hill, which I myself have read, and the other new book. If you want to if you want to order the book, you can order it on Amazon and other site. I will leave the link in the description section for
Thank
you to order the book and read. Hopefully, somebody can be inspired by Kayode's story. Kayode, one last word for the audience and advice for those who may be going through some difficult times now. Make it very quick, please.
Yes, thank you. My advice is that don't give up. And please, this book is set in Nigeria, but it will benefit anybody wherever you come from America, from Europe, from Asia country, Jamaica, anywhere. The book, when you read the two, you will learn a lot from the two books, and you will decide not to give up. That no matter what, if the protagonist in this book survive, I too will survive. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Coyote. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to give this video a like and share. If you want to appear on this platform, you can WhatsApp me. We're here to share immigrant story, to celebrate people, share stories that the mainstream media will not share. Don't forget to give it a like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done.